Welcome to Keeping It Real.
So you go to church a lot?
I go to church every Sunday. I can literally count the number of days I've missed on two hands. It's
like in your whole life?
Yeah, like in my whole life.
Holy
yeah, and
shit.
if you don't go, you either
I feel bad.
Well, no, but if you don't go to church, you either watch it or your dad does an at-home thing.
Yeah.
Why do you feel bad?
Just cause I don't know. I don't feel bad. I'm not guilted by my family. I just literally want to go.
Yeah.
Every week and
Get your mind right.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah, for sure.
What's a mass like?
Mass is it's really traditional. So we have incense, the smoke thing, and I'm usually an altar server, and sometimes I read, and it's very traditional and high mass is what they call it, and I really like that. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Does your father give I remember when I went to church, the priest would have a part where you try to relate whatever part of the Bible we were talking about to a story in real life. He just had, you know what I'm saying? Spiel like that.
Mhm. And his sermons, he will give analogies and stuff and connect things in the Bible to things now. And he does a lot of teen ministry with me. We have this thing called Mako, and it's a teen youth group type of thing, and he will always try and connect the Bible or whatever to
things
that teens go through. So
it's applicable, actually helpful.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I feel it's so easy to get lost in certain teachings and whatnot because it's the Bible is how many years old? It's hard to relate that to now, and your dad does a really good job of applying it to the now. Yeah, I'm not as committed, I guess, as you are. But she got me into going to church.
Awesome.
And
and it makes you feel better and everything.
Yeah, it's definitely a good resource and thing. It's a comfort more it's yeah. I don't
To
know
have
sure.
something, yeah, 100%. Because when you don't have something, it's weighing on your mind whether you think or not, in the back of your head, just not believing in anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's awesome. What made you guys want to come on the podcast? Were you listening to them?
I don't know. I was listening to them.
I don't know.
I was listening to them, a couple of them. Was it a year ago? No. I don't know how long ago. And I was oh my god, what if I can talk about youth ministry? And then everyone starts coming. But I was younger, so now I'm just you reached out to me
it took
again.
a while to reach
and
out.
I was
That's my bad.
Okay, I'll still do it.
Awesome. Nice.
Why not?
I'm here because of her, so.
True. I was
I'm not gonna
lie.
That's funny. Which ones do you listen to? Do you remember at all?
I had a couple of people I knew who did it, so I watched theirs. Did you do one with Deborah?
Yeah.
Ramon? I watched that one.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
I never met her. I met her I met her on the podcast.
Yeah.
I knew her, I think, though, because she's Raymond's little sister. Or Rainer, my bad.
I didn't even know that.
But yeah, the last summer it was awesome. I was doing them every day. I was literally addicted to doing them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This summer I got a little bit busier. Now, I mean, because of COVID, I guess that there was less going on, so it was easier to just sit down and do these all the time.
Yeah.
And I kept it just audio, so I was just literally just doing it and then posting it and then just it was done. But now it's becoming with the video and the audio and all that stuff, it's become a longer process, so I've done it less.
Yeah.
It's harder. I don't know. It sounds like some bullshit excuses, but it's just been more work, and I just have more on my plate now. You know.
Yeah.
Just as you get older, but it's still fun. It's still fun to do and meet people, stuff like that. But that's awesome that you've been helping and volunteering at your church and stuff like that. Sounds like you guys got a good community there and stuff. Where is it about? What part of town?
It's the French Hill neighborhood. So there's how to describe it? There's gas station, It's in Marlboro. It's like a big red brick church. It used to be called St. Anne's.
It's kind of like near downtown.
Yeah.
Not the one on top of the hill, right? Like by the old firehouse where Bin is?
No.
That's like white, right? That's not brick.
Yeah, no, that's not it, no. It's like, I don't know. I'm trying to think what it is near. There's like not a lot. It's literally just like houses and then the church. La Tapatia used to be next to it. That like restaurant.
Oh, okay. So it's over by like Galoni?
No.
Oh wait, that's
near my house. I'm like, I probably shouldn't. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. There's like a gas station, and then like apartments, like living.
It's just like the middle.
How many people go? Like how many people are showing up to masses and stuff?
On a good day, like 70.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, it was majority like older people, and now actually we brought in like 3 like really like young families with like little kids, and it's really nice to see. Yeah.
Nice.
So. Yeah.
What's the age group of kids you're working with?
Oh, like for the camp that I'm doing right now, it's preschool through 8th grade.
Nice.
Yeah. So they have all their different groups, and I teach them like songs and dances.
And they're like intrigued in it and everything, or do they feel like
some
they're dragged?
Sometimes I have to like say, "I'll give you candy if you dance." Yeah. So, but yeah, for sure.
No, that makes sense, especially with little kids.
Oh my god, the little kids make my heart melt. Like they're so cute. Like I love it. I love it so much.
Stay with them. Keep doing jobs around them. There's plenty camps and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know, literally.
That's awesome. It's crazy that like our generation has like a lot of kids have gravitated towards churches and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you see in the grade below me and like your grade, like kids are always posting about churches, trying to get their friends to go and stuff like that, and it's really helped a lot of people. You know, like I have a lot of people I'll talk to at school, and they like won't believe in religion, and they'll like kind of diss the church and stuff like that. But what I've seen in Marlboro, like it has given a lot of kids just structure. You know what I'm saying? Like what they need. Yeah. So there's a lot outside of like the belief system of it. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like the Connect Church and like the like Metro Church and churches that have more of like a modern feel with like the like lights and stuff. Like I feel like those attract a lot of kids our age and like gives them a sense of community. And like my church is nothing like that, but I've been to like places like that and I'm like, oh, this is really cool. But we have this thing called Churches United, which is like all these different like denominations, and we like meet. So like a lot of people from those churches that have like the crazy lights, and then there's like my church with like the smoke and the incense and stuff, is like they like come together and we like try and worship together. Yeah. So it's really nice to do that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's super sick. Yeah. I've been to the Metro Church a couple times, and it's nice how they run it, because it feels like the whole time it's not necessarily like reading the Bible and stuff like that. It's just trying to apply like principles to your life. You know what I'm saying? And like I think that's like moving away from just reading the Bible and just listening to it, and like actually trying to like decipher what it's saying and then apply it to your real life. Like that's what's getting kids into it, because then they can actually help themselves. You know? Yeah.
Yeah, because they can relate to it.
It's important. But so you just been going to church your whole life and stuff like that? Yep. And it never felt like forced on you? No. You've always gravitated towards it?
Yeah, because like I know a lot of people who like grew up in the church and were like, ugh, like I was made to go to church like every week, but like for me I'm like, oh, I want to go every week, because I just like found it for me, and like I know I still probably would have been forced if I didn't want to go, because my parents are like, you know, really adamant about it and are like, this is the truth and this is what I want for you. But they said, you know, I said, oh, if I happen to not want to go to church, if I was like older, would you like let me? And they were like, well, obviously I can't force you as an adult to do anything, but I would be sad. Yeah. So I feel like that's a good mentality.
Yeah. My parents were like, my dad didn't really care that much, and my mom was like, all right, you're gonna go until you get confirmed for like my grandmother, because she wanted to see all her grandkids confirmed. So so we did that, and then after she was kind of like, yeah, like you can, like my mom, as we were going to church, like started to believe in it less and stuff like that. And like it's not like we don't go to church and stuff like that, we do other things, you know what I'm saying? Like a big thing about church was just like community and gathering and stuff like that, and I focus on that a lot outside, and like seeing those people and spending time like that with people outside of it, which is my thing. And then my mom goes to like meditation classes and yoga classes and stuff. Like it's like the same practices, just shifted, and like we still keep the same beliefs. Like I still believe in Jesus and stuff like that, and God essentially, but I don't necessarily believe in like the rules of the Bible and having to, like, I don't think though some principles like withstood time, you know what I'm saying? Whereas I feel like there's some things you find within yourself that withstand time that are in that book as well. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like what I believe in there, I had to find in myself first and then go back and realize, oh, it is there, you know? So I get behind a lot of it and I can relate with a lot of it. But
that makes sense.
yeah, I've always been searching though, you know. I feel like I don't know. Like I was saying earlier, like it always did weigh on my mind, like not having something, you know. I'd freak out about it a little bit, but it's good to believe in something now, you know.
Yeah.
So like traditionally you guys believe in like a heaven and hell? And that's afterlife, not like on this earth, right?
Right, like when you die, like there's heaven and then there's hell. We also believe in like the devil and like demons and things like that, which I feel like freaks a lot of people out.
Do they scare you?
Yeah. But like my dad has had so many experiences as a priest, like where he's had like dreams and things about it, and like things that happened in his life that he was like, it made it so clear to me that they were so real and like trying to tear me away from God, you know, because like for me it's like if you're Christian and like you believe in Jesus and then like and you believe it's his word, in the Bible it says that they're real and that they want to like tear us away from God. So like to me that's like why it's like a part of it, you know?
Part of the deal.
Right, exactly. Like it's all or nothing for me. Even though it's like it's like crazy because I'm like, demons? Like when I like watch like movies where they're like the heads turning or whatever, I'm like,
yeah.
But it's like a little different than that. But you know, there's stories in the Bible that are like hella scary.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, really scary.
Do you have any off the top of your head?
Oh my god.
You know I gotta share.
Wasn't there like, there was the woman, was it Mary Magdalene or was that? I love how I'm looking at you. I don't know. What was I watched this series called The Chosen.
I think I've heard of that.
Really?
I did.
With my boyfriend, he loves it. It's sort of, it's like heretical, but like it. I don't know if I'm remembering it from this or from the show or from the Bible, but there was like this woman who like was possessed, and like was so severely possessed that she was like levitating and like her head was spinning.
Has your dad ever performed like a exorcism? Has he ever had an encounter like that?
He has told me that he has. Like, I don't know, like there are people who like are exorcists.
Yeah.
And like he's not an exorcist, but like he has mentioned that like there are people who will like come into church and like start like saying things that no one would know, and you know, and he'll say like, you know, everyone says power of Christ compel you, but I don't know what he said, like, you know, in the name of Christ or whatever, and he said they like fell to the floor, and it's crazy, like when he talks about it.
I believe that stuff.
Yeah, it's like weird, like it's really crazy to hear about that.
Yeah.
And you know, he's been teaching the teens at the camp that I was talking about that I'm going to now have like a Bible study that my dad does, and he was talking like yesterday and today about how like if you've ever like been to school and you have like your best friend and then you have like another friend and you start to move away from them and then they get jealous and then they try and like sabotage the relationship. He was like trying to compare that to like the devil, how he like gets jealous about you wanting to have a relationship with God.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot.
It is.
It's a lot.
It is.
Have you ever had like dreams or something like that where you feel like a devil's been trying to take you away from God?
I just have felt like spiritually like attacked before, especially like with anxiety, and like something that we hold to is that like they will try and wear you down and like whisper stuff in your ear, like not literally, but like try and put thoughts into your head. And so I'm usually sometimes I like have thoughts and I'm like, that's not mine, you know what I mean? I'm like, that's not who I am or whatever. So I like definitely feel it. I don't think I've had like a specific dream where like my dad where it was like
I feel you with the thoughts though, because sometimes I mean we all have thoughts. You're like, what the fuck?
The heck? Yeah, what was that? Yeah.
I try not to think any of my thoughts are mine. I just listen to them all, and then whatever I say or do, that's actually mine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But because we all have them, you know,
Yeah.
they come and go, and like it is interesting to think about it in the like way that it could be like someone trying to pull you away from God or whatever. You know.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
That shit, yeah, the exorcism shit's insane. There's this YouTube series called like Law of One, and it just talks about like the idea of like communal consciousness and stuff like that. And it was talking about exorcisms in one of them, and it was like showing a video of a priest doing it, and it scared the shit out of me. I was like, what the fuck?
Those videos scare me.
Well, so like if I like come across things on TikTok all the time, and I'll send them to her and be like, is this real? Like
yeah, like she's asking me if it's real. Like, how do I know?
Can you verify this?
Yeah. Like the ones where they're like shaking, and then like the guy, I don't know if it's a priest or like a pastor or whatever, different denominations, but he's like has his hand on his face and then he like passes out, and I'm like, oh my god, it's nuts. I don't know if those things are real or not, but.
Can you explain tongues to me when people are speaking in tongues?
That's like a thing in the Bible, where like, if there was like, I guess a group, of people that couldn't understand each other, and like in order to share the gospel, they were like able to speak in tongues, which was like a language that everyone understood. That's
crazy. You like if you spoke it to me right now, I'd be able to understand it.
I don't know. Like, I don't think people say sometimes like if you're like struck by the spirit, you like speak in tongues. But like when people do speak in tongues, like no one else can understand them because they're like it's like gibberish. So I don't know necessarily, like in my denomination it's not a really big thing. It's more in like I guess like Pentecostals and like that kind of thing where they're like they do those more like out there things where they like speak in tongues or like are slain by the spirit and like fall down and like that kind of thing. With us it's more just like traditional, like we have mass and we don't do like a lot of those like miracle type things. But so like I don't know a ton about what someone who believes in that would say, but like I believe it was part of the Bible. I just don't know if now it's like relevant because it was to share the gospel with people who couldn't understand. So I'm not really sure.
Interesting. Because I did a podcast with like a Bible study once, and I don't know if you ever heard of it was Cam Janetti. He was saying like he became a believer when he was just like he was with all his friends at this church camp, and he was just speaking tongues. Like I didn't know what was happening. Like he said there was like 300 people there, and they're all like preaching at this stage, and he went to just like try to find God and stuff like that, and he was speaking in tongues, and he like just became a believer then. That's
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, like, I find it cool that, like, you get to talk to so many different people and, like, find out their experiences and everything. Because, like, I don't know, like, I didn't even know that about him, so that's crazy.
It's crazy because it seems like I can only do this because of the mic, but, like, to be honest, I started doing it on the mic, and then I learned, like, you can just talk like that with anyone, if you really just let your guard down.
Yeah. That's one thing, like, our generation is bad at talking to each other. And, like, I try, like, my best to, like, communicate with people and just be, like, if you don't know somebody, but, like, you have mutual friends or whatever, just be like, hey, like, what's up?
And even, like, the biggest thing for me is if I see, like, if I follow someone on Instagram, like, who I haven't met before, like, I'll say, like, oh, I follow you on Instagram, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I get looked at weird sometimes, or they're like, whoa, you're, like, keep it separate. Like, keep that world separate from this world. But I'm like, shit, if I seen you, like, I'm going to say something, you know?
Yeah, that's not common at all.
But, it is, like, it's easier for some people to talk online than it is in person.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that the other day, because I was telling my friend, I was like, yo, I just had this crazy encounter with this drunk guy outside a convenience store. Because I deliver ice, so I'm outside convenience stores all day. But, it was mad funny, and I was like, yo, I have to tell you this, and he's like, but I was like, I'll tell you in person, and then I was like, that's crazy that I have to like tell him that I'll tell him in person. You know what I'm saying? Like, back in the day, like you just see someone and then just tell them the whole story.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't tell them like you have a story beforehand. It's just wild, but yeah, I feel like the podcast really helped me get back to just being able to talk to anyone about anything, and like strangers too, like just because I don't know, you like we all have so much in common. You know what I'm saying? Like without even just being alive, like there's already so much in common. Yeah. And you can find relatable points, you know? Yeah, it's also like people in your like classes at school and stuff, like if you go into like their work or whatever and they're working, like I'm always like, hey, like, and like at first if I don't do that, they're like, so what do you want, like if it's like Chipotle or whatever, and I'm like they pretend to like not know you, and I'm like, why? Yeah, yes. You know what I mean? Like totally school is separate, and I'm like, but why? Yeah. Like we're all just people. I don't know. I totally feel that. In the gym or at a basketball court or anything, like I'll see someone and like they'll look away, like you know you're there, like they know you're there, and they'll be like looking away and you'll be avoiding eye contact. But the second I get eye contact, you'll be like, bro, I know you, like I know you. Literally. That shit's so funny. Yeah. I wonder why. Like do you think it's social media that's built up that, or do you think? I mean, it must be. Yeah. The separation. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, like, because we didn't live in the past, so we don't really know if people had a problem talking to people back then. But I think it's, if you talk to older people, and I don't know if it's just because they're old or what, but, like, they don't care about being, like looking stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, all day while I'm delivering and stuff like that, walking into people, they'll just say, like, whatever they need to say to get a conversation started, whether it's, like, some dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, I feel like that's me. I feel like I. But it works. And then you know what I'm saying? Then I start talking to them, and then it's like, oh, they were just breaking the ice. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, literally. It didn't, like, they weren't even like what they said. They probably didn't even mean. They were just saying it to get it going. You know. That's mainly like because when I was doing like youth ministry and we were like at the heart of it, we were getting like 20 kids coming like just to my house. Like I was inviting people that I had never even spoken to before that were just mutual friends. So I like figured out how to do that and be like, you know, hey, I know so and so, and like there's this thing in my house, I know this is like totally weird, but you should totally come, and like that kind of thing. And it's like I feel like I do that a lot where I just like have a stupid icebreaker, and then I'm like, okay, we know each other now. But when you break the ice, like they usually respond well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like but people are afraid. At least 90% of the time, I'd say when I like just go out there, put myself out there, it works out. You know what I'm saying? And like as I do it more, that percentage goes up. You know. You get more comfortable with that. I feel like for other people, it's just like that fear of saying something and like doing it, even though. But like, what's a fear? Like rejection? Like the person's like, you know what I'm saying? Like what's the worst that happens? They're just like, oh, they like I don't know. I feel like if they make you feel like shit, it's like, oh, that's just a shitty person. I feel like but you don't want to talk to them anyway. I feel like I definitely used to, like even sometimes now I like won't go up to like grocery store workers and be like. Yeah. Whereas I make her do it. But like I've been a lot better about like just going up to like someone and being like, hey, like whatever the topic is. But I think it's just like that fear is just so built from like when we're little because your parents do everything for you. So like being able to do it on your own, but like once you eventually do it more often on your own, you just get more comfortable with it. So like the more you do it, the more comfortable you are, but it's hard to get past that. Yeah. Right. Our parents do so much for us when we're little, like making chicken and changing tires. Okay. All right. There's a story behind that. It's fine, I get it. We have so many stories. We've been best friends for so many years. We're like 8 years now? Yeah. No, 8 years. No, what was the Nutcracker? That was my third year. The Nutcracker. The third year. With the Nutcracker. It did also 8, 9, 10. So I was 10 when we partnered. 7 years. So 7 years. Yeah, but what she's talking about the chicken, would you like to, in the tires, would you like to explain? Well, so the chicken, like at her old house, we were making her mom chicken. Wasn't she sick or something? No, she was in bed. Just lazy.
Oh shit, she was in bed watching a show or something, and we were like, oh my god, let's make her chicken. So we like put chicken in the oven, like made her
kids. That's some good ass kids.
breaded chicken.
You're like, shit, mom's down. Let's make her some chicken.
Yeah.
I fuck with that. That's a good ass.
That's the kind of
chicken
people
is
we
good.
are.
No, so like I tried to like do it on the pan.
Yeah.
And so we make it, and then we bring it upstairs to her, and she cuts open, and it's like bright pink. And I'm like, oh shit, like I don't know how to cook. Yeah. I was like 12, you're 11.
Yeah, and I was like mad because I was like, we made you chicken. And she was like, this is not cooked.
Yeah.
And I was like,
and so then
like,
eat the fucking chicken. Be thankful.
Yes, I know.
Be thankful you're getting chicken.
Something.
So then we
yeah.
put it in the oven.
Again.
And
Wait, what'd you put in the first time?
like just like a pan, like on the stove.
Oh, I thought you like didn't cook it. Like you just brought it up.
No, oh my god. Be thankful.
Oh my god, that would have been so funny.
Yeah, just frozen chicken.
So now she, and like I'm the one who made it, like she, like, and so now she's like, well, you made uncooked chicken.
Well, we always, like, that's our joke.
Yeah. And then the tire. So I'm going to Endicott College in the fall, and I love the campus. It's amazing. My brother goes there.
It's fancy as hell.
It's awesome.
It's on like a beach, right?
Yes. They have 3 private beaches. It's quite nice. But
That's just incredible.
yeah. So we were in Burlington, or we were like doing something, and I was like, okay, like let's go to Endicott. Like I just want to show you around campus. The minute we get onto campus, I drive over the curb and pop my tire.
Yikes.
Yeah, it was bad.
Boom. Like,
It was so bad.
really hard.
And like I don't know.
We hit it pretty hard to pop a tire.
Yeah.
There
was a hole
It was, like,
this big in my tire.
It like came out, and she was like, "Oh, that's the," and then we were just like, "Boom!" And I was like, "What the hell just happened?" Like I thought we like ran over like a person or something. I was like, "What?" And so she gets out, and I was just like praying, like there's not like an animal under the thing, and then she's like, "My tire's like blown." I was like, oh.
Yeah, it was bad.
So we drove over to the parking lot.
And then waited 30 minutes for AAA because I don't know how to change a tire, and no one ever taught me, which is like not good.
I don't know how to change a tire.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can figure it out. I'd probably just call AAA too.
Yeah. So I called AAA, and the minute I called my dad and told him what happened, he just laughed at me. I was like, "Thanks, Dad."
That's naturally what happens. Anytime you have a story and you're like panicked, your parents just laugh at you because they're like, I've been there.
Yeah.
I know what's happening.
But it was an experience. I was so mad at myself. I was like, come on, like, of course.
Yeah,
this happened. I was pissed.
Yeah.
So we just sat on the ground.
We did. We sat on the ground, and then everyone who passed us was like, "That sucks." And we're like,
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. It was great.
And then my orientation leader came and like met us in the parking lot because she was still on campus and just like tried to help. But I was like, "There's." Really,
she felt so bad.
She felt really bad. It was.
So it's on the way out.
Like.
In.
Yeah, like we weren't.
You were going home or going?
Like
to
we were like
school?
driving in the campus.
Yeah, we had just got there.
Yeah.
Like not even like 30 seconds after we got there.
Yeah.
Damn, that's kind of a bad omen.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to put that on you.
It's fine.
Do you believe in like superstition?
No.
No, not at all.
No, not really.
Not really. I just like. I don't know.
Like I feel like if you are a bad person, like. People say like karma, and I just feel like that's just like
You're gonna
natural.
You're gonna get what you put out.
If you like, if I'm like rude to you, and then I see you in person, and I'm like, "Can you help me?" And you'd be like, "No." You just get what you're.
Not even like that close too. Like if you're rude to someone, you're gonna like I don't know, turn around and like rip your pants or something. Like it's so little like that.
Exactly.
Like you're gonna attract the energy you're putting out.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure.
I totally feel that. Vice versa. If you're happy and like cheer people up, if you let people go while you're driving, you're gonna get little things.
Yeah.
That's not the goal, obviously. You do it because you want to be a nice person, but it's just it is interesting how that shit works.
Mm-hmm. We ended up at a gas station.
Oh my god, that was so weird.
We got food, and then we're in the car, and this lady was like by the door, and she was like, "Oh my god!" Like she was staring at her phone, and she was like flipped out. And I was like, "What is?"
Like she started like
Screaming.
Screaming bloody murder. Like she.
You're like, Christ compels you.
Literally.
Relax.
I was like, Dad.
It was like I've never seen someone like.
I was like, what is with her phone? And she was like, people were like trying to go in the gas station and she was like stopping them and I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad we're not there. And then she starts like walking towards our window and I was like, go. But then she went to her car. But I was like, I still wonder what happened. Like,
you never found out.
I thought someone died at first and she like was like found it out. And then I was like, no, because she was like, something's wrong with my phone.
Yeah.
But she must have been just like nuts.
I thought maybe she like accidentally like deleted something.
Oh, didn't she say it's all gone?
It's all
gone.
I don't know. She kept like screaming that.
She could have been a normal person and just had a really awful day.
Those are the normal type of activities at gas stations, though. Usually people screaming at
something. I told my brother about it, and he was like, "Yeah, that gas station is like known for like a trash."
And that's where her friends told us to go.
Anywhere you go, you're gonna find fucking weirdos.
That's true.
You're right.
Hey, but that's the fun of life, honestly.
Oh yeah, super fun.
Yeah.
That's a word. So yeah, anyway, we have the term happy endicott now.
Nice. Happy endicott and chicken and tire.
Yeah, that's our relationship.
We have a lot more stories, but like those are the recent ones.
What?
Like when I like fucked up your hair.
The money pieces?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I dyed her hair like maybe like a year ago, and I did not do a good job.
The lady the other day who did my hair, she was like, she was like, so you dyed over your whole head brown? I was like, yeah, it was her. And she was like, you have like a strip where like it's not there. And I was like, okay.
Cool.
It's fine.
It's a style. Get with it.
Exactly. I was like, that was on purpose.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was
Excuse me,
nice.
Miss Bitch. It's a style. Just say that to her.
For sure.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But you said she got you into church. She brought you.
Yeah.
So what were you doing? How old were you when she brought you?
Well, so like I was sort of like forced to go when we first met. So like we would have sleepovers on like Saturday nights at her house, and then like her whole family like would go to church the next day, and like I had to go because they were bringing me home.
Yeah.
So like I was sort of just kind of like.
That's so funny. That's how I would have a friend Nick who. If I ever slept over, they would bring me to church. So after like 2 times, I was just like, nah, I don't want to sleep over anymore. I don't want to sleep over. I'll just go home at night.
Oh my god. That's so sad. It's like Friday into Saturday. Like purposely avoid the sleep.
It was.
So I can't Saturday. Sorry.
Yeah. I have like plans.
I just got this. I got things going on.
Yeah.
But sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good. So, and I think after like a few like weeks of that, because we would be having sleepovers like every weekend, and then you started inviting me to wildlife, which is like, how do you describe wildlife anyway?
It's like a worldwide like youth thing, not denominational.
Yeah, it's like
outreach.
Yeah. And like wildlife is the middle school version, and then Young Life is like the whole brand and the high school version too. And so I started going to that like youth group, and I just like slowly got more into it. Then I started altar serving at her church, and I would do some of the readings, and then I went to wildlife camp.
What kept you going? Like, what were you attracted to?
There were a lot of things going on in my personal life at that time, and I sort of liked the fact that when I would be in church or we were talking about the Bible or like in prayer or like literally anything related to that, I sort of just forgot about all of that for a second, and I liked that feeling, and so it just made me want more and to learn more and have that comfort that I wasn't getting. So I think that sort of just like reassurance that like there is other things that can make me happy and like help me forget about everything. Just kind of like kept that going. And my family, like, we were the CEOs of church. We Christmas, Easter only. Like, that's how I grew up. Like, my mom grew up going to church on Sundays, and she hated it, and she did not do the same for her kids. Like, Christmas, Easter, that's it. And she only did that to please her mom. Mm-hmm. So, I sort of always dreaded it until I actually, like, learned the meaning and, like, what it can do for...
Nice. It's good that you explored it on your own.
Yeah.
You know?
And I'm, like, one of the only people in my family who...
And they all respect it and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like...
It's just your thing.
Yeah, they're like, oh, are you going to Jesus camp this summer? Like, they kind of, like, poke fun, but it's, like, it's harmless.
Yeah.
So.
No, I feel you.
Yeah.
In my family, my mom's very spiritual, and, like, I would say I am too, but not to her level. She believes in a lot of the outside things, and, like, my dad will poke fun at her and shit like that. But then we'll be like, well, at least we're happy.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, we're happy
yeah.
when we're saying this, but...
I feel like a lot of people who don't believe in God are, like, mad at him. You know?
Yeah, they're mad
like,
at something.
How can you be mad at something you don't believe in? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily, like, God they're mad at. It's something within themselves they just need to figure out, you know? Like, I feel like if someone ever has a problem with something around them, it's just them reflecting something they feel on the inside, you know? And, like, they just gotta figure that out and dig. And, like, it sucks and it's a process, but, like, that's how you'll get to actually feeling good and find your own beliefs, you know? Like, I just did a podcast with this kid, Sam, and he believes in nihilism, I believe is how you pronounce it. And it's, like, the idea there is no God, there's no afterlife, there's no reincarnation, there's nothing. Like, when you die, it's just lights out. All this is, like, an accident, you know? But he's, like, and that could seem very negative, but he's like, but in my perspective, it's like, all right, then let's just have fun and, like, do what we can with this, you know, and, like, just be happy. And I can get behind that too, you know. It's whatever makes you happy and doesn't harm other people, you know. And that, like, whatever that is, I guess that I don't care, you know. Like, if it works for you, it works.
Yeah, like, I hate when Christians, like, force things on people, and I'm like, you think that's helping?
No,
like, you think that's making them wanna embrace, like, Christianity? It just makes them think that Christians are horrible people.
Yeah, and it only pushes them away.
Yeah, and some of them are, and it's
some of them are.
Yeah, I'm like, sometimes I'm like, what the heck's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like, you think you're gonna get anybody on your side when you're treating them like that? Like, it's so stupid, and, like, Jesus is... Like, I always say, Jesus is for freedom of religion, because, like, a whole big part of the Bible is, like, free will.
Jesus is in, like, every religion, too. Like, he's
in a lot of
mentioned,
them.
You know?
Yeah.
But I would say that, like, or, like, we would say that, like, it's, like, a Jesus, but it's different because they don't believe that he's, like, also God, so it's kind of like a variation of Jesus.
Yeah.
And not, like, the same, like, but...
Do you believe in Immaculate Conception?
I don't. I know sometimes people confuse Immaculate Conception with virgin birth. So, like, I believe that, like, Christ was, like, born of Mary, who was a virgin, and, like, it was a miracle. But I don't believe that Mary was without sin, like Jesus was, which is a Roman Catholic belief.
Which is a part of Immaculate Conception.
Which is what the Immaculate Conception is.
Wait, so...
It's confusing. It's really confusing.
Oh my god, we should have had Robbie on this show.
Oh my god, he would.
Can you imagine?
Well,
that's my boyfriend. He's a religious.
You can explain.
Nut.
No, like he like he doesn't watch like normal TV shows. Like he watches like TV shows about like
the Pope. He's like Roman Catholic, like 10 out of 10 like intensity Roman Catholic.
Like he will start an argument with you over it. Like
well,
that's a person you want around.
Oh my god, he's so funny.
Love him.
He's hilarious.
Yeah,
but,
I've been with him for 2 years. It never gets old. I will laugh my butt off.
Yeah, it's pretty
so Immaculate Conception is the idea that, like, why do you think that she sinned? Like, what is it that
just because
sinned?
I believe that Jesus was the only one who was without the stain of sin.
Then why would she be chosen? Like,
because I feel like the whole point of the story of the Blessed Mother or Mary being so powerful is that she was just somebody like us. Like, she was just a teenager. In fact, I think she was like 14. She was just like a regular teenager who was like all of us, and like God chose her. So I feel like a whole big part of Christianity is that we aren't worthy of what we receive, and that like I feel like in a lot of other religions it's about earning things, like having enough good works to get to heaven, or like pleasing your God or whatever, whereas like with Christianity it's like we couldn't attain to God, so God came to us like in Jesus. So I feel like a huge part of it is us not being worthy, so like Mary just being a normal person who's part of humanity, and that's what makes it so powerful, that like God was willing to enter into humanity to save us. Yeah.
Do you believe God has a face?
Well, in the Bible it says that we were created in God's image. So.
Damn. Oscar said that. I asked him that in the gym. You know Oscar Aponte?
I know an Oscar. I don't know if
he graduated in the same class as me. He preaches, and he's at the Metro Church, and he does like a podcast with them and everything. He's super into all that stuff.
That's cool.
But I saw him in the gym, and I asked him that the other day, and he said the exact same thing. And
really?
then he quoted like in the fiery eyes of God, something like that.
So I like to think that God, I don't know, you were supposed to like in the olden days like not depict like God the Father, and then like slowly over time, like was it Michelangelo?
So you think it's a guy?
Who depicted
God's a guy? Like it has a gender?
I wouldn't say like God's a guy, but like in the Bible and stuff, it's like God the Father, God the Son. So it's like it doesn't say God the Mother. And then also like Christ was a guy.
Yeah.
Like a man. Jesus was a man. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like I don't get like mad when people are like God the Mother, or like God's a woman. God is a woman.
Oh my God.
But I don't know. It's just not something that I would hold to, because there's nowhere in the Bible that really says that. Like angels don't have
It's weird how we say that like father for God, and then like mother nature. Then like it's weird how like outside of it we think of it as like a male role, and then inside of it in this planet and stuff like that we think of it as like a female role. You know.
Yeah, I feel like mother nature is like, because like you think of nature as like soft and like caring, I guess, for us, like giving,
always
which is
giving.
like a womanly thing in society, I guess, but
and God's controlling and
and annoying. Yeah,
that's funny.
I don't know. That's like a deep thing that I'm like, I saw this movie called The Shack. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's
I don't watch many movies.
This kid, I don't remember, like, spoiler alert, but like, I think this. I know. Everyone always watches like the first like minute, and then they're like, "This is cool." But it's like this kid like dies, and
nice. That's cool.
Yeah. And then, or he's like kidnapped. I forget. And then he dies. I don't know. And then he's like in this like shack that's like heaven, I guess. I don't know. And there's like the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Have you seen the movie?
Yeah, but like so long ago. But like anyway, it's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit like living with him in the shack. It's weird. Anyway, but the Father is a woman, like in the movie, and like Jesus looks like Jesus, and then the Holy Spirit is like, I forget it, but anyway, it's a woman playing like God the Father in the like whatever. And the point was, when I researched it, the point was the kid was seeing God the Father as he needed to be comforted.
Oh.
So like, not that God was actually a woman, but he needed God to be a woman, like, for him at that point. So I was like, that's deep. It's a lot. It's a lot. Right. We say that so much.
What, the right?
Right.
We do that.
I'm starting to get you to say word. Which I'm really proud
That's her
of.
thing.
Picking up Marlboro slang.
Yeah.
When you go to college, you realize we talk stupid compared
Really?
to some other people, bro. We have some stupid words, like
Where do you
brick.
go to college?
I go to Suffolk.
Oh, that's where my friend's going.
Who?
Came in.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. But, yeah, like, just some words you'll realize it. And then you'll meet some kids and they'll say some words and you're like, what the fuck? It's crazy when, like, slang words all come together and then you just create this new language that only like your friends can understand at school.
Yeah, we have that for sure.
Yeah.
Nah, yeah, and when you're at home too, I have words I say to my friends that like only we'll get, but
yeah,
it's fun. It's fun like
that's
that.
like my dad and I, like we watch so many things, like our things like watching shows and movies together, and he'll like say something to me like in public that's like from a TV show, and I'll be like say a response, and everyone's like, what the hell just happened? It's really funny.
I remember when I heard you and your dad like have one of those encounters for the first time, I was so confused. I was like, do I need to run now? Like what?
Oh my god, it's so funny.
It's like me and my dad with SpongeBob quotes. We'll just whenever.
Love
SpongeBob.
Grew
Love
up
it.
watching that shit with my dad and my sister. That's how we relate the most. Just SpongeBob
Yeah.
quotes.
I love that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
That shit's so funny.
Oh man.
But so you guys want to wrap this up? It's been about an hour.
Oh my god, really?
No.
Goes by
fucking
fast, bro.
way.
Goes by quick.
Sure,
I-
yeah.
You guys, any
Crazy.
last words for the peoples? Any shout out your youth group. Get people to come.
Okay, so,
I'll put it as a first clip too. So like
yeah,
people will
why not?
definitely
Okay,
watch
so,
There you go.
my youth group is called Mako, Marked as Christ Zone. We're taking a break over the summer, but we're gonna have like a couple big events, but it's usually on Sundays during the year at my church.
Yeah,
472 Links.
like afternoon.
No, I think the video cut a little early. Whatever, keep going. The audio's still there.
That's okay. That's it.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's my parting words.
Yeah.
God bless
Mako.
you.
Word. Peace out.